Happening, what it is, what it ain't. Your number one in Northside 40 in the building. We are still here live. DIGIWAXX Penthouse. We got NIKKO baby in the building. What's happening, my brother?
What's going on, 40, man? What's going on, man?
I can't complain. I'm blessed to be here, bro.
I like the outfit.
You a brave nigga. Anybody that wear white up top, you brave as hell.
Oh, yeah, bro. Man. You know, I'm clean, man. We smooth, baby. You know where I'm from. We got to keep it smooth, you know?
You got to be clean. See, one thing I learned now, I can't go out to eat with no white on me. I fuck around and split.
See, look, my team had me taking everything off earlier, so I get it. I understand.
You the type to switch the jacket out anyway as soon as that shit gets
right? Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to get to that level. How's everything though? You from Chicago, Southside Chicago.
Southside for sure. Southside.
How long you been up here in New York for?
For about a good 4 days now. 3-4 days.
3-4 days?
Yeah,
This your first time up here?
Nah, it's actually like my second or third for real,
second
bro.
Or third.
Yeah.
So what was your first time coming up here? It was for a show or something?
The first time, as a matter of fact, the first time I came up here, shout out my homie, I was coming out to kick it with K-Shine for my birthday.
K-Shine. Yeah. Yo, shout out K-Shine. You
yeah, for sure.
You and K-Shine locked in like that?
Yeah, that's my dog. That's my dog. It's crazy. In Chicago, shout out the battle rap. We got Big Tuna. You know what I mean?
I know
Big T. Big T. So Big T connected the dots and we ended up getting locked in and come to find out K-Shine was more of a brother than I thought.
That's fire.
For sure.
That's super hard. So, I hear a lot about, I want to get into like your rap career and stuff like that, but there's a lot of politics and outside perspectives that people hear about Chicago.
For sure.
What was Southside Chicago like you? Because, we only hear through the music. I ain't never been to Chicago before.
Sure.
Like, you feel me? Talking to a lot of people, interviewing a lot of people, there's like some things that you might not cross paths with. I interviewed somebody from Chicago before, and I had asked him if he rocked with a certain person. He was like, nah, we don't. So, I don't want to mention no names, but what was Southside Chicago like for you growing up?
Well, Southside of Chicago, was pretty much, it was love, it was hate, it was sadness, it was happiness, but all in all, it was home. You know what I mean? And I'm a singer, so I don't really have those problems. I'm universal in the city. You know what I mean? And then I'm a big dog, so it's the same way,
Of course.
Mad respect to everybody.
So what was it? What geared you to start singing and in general?
Just growing up, being around great influences like Coco Taylor's, you know what I'm saying? My grandmother was very close with like the BB Kings and things like that, So growing up and having those great musical influences around is what influenced me and inspired me. And then, I grew up a fan of New York artists, I grew up a fan of Biggie. So it was like a real fan, a diehard fan. You know what I mean?
That's more than what a lot of us can say. I'm going to be real.
Facts.
Be real. Like a lot of us New Yorkers, like, you know what I mean? But
yeah, I grew up a diehard fan of Big, man. I was a diehard fan of Big and just seeing it, because us heavyset guys don't be looked at like the sex symbols or you know what I mean? And just seeing how that can be handled and placed the right way, treated the right way, especially with some good music.
Yeah.
So I had to get off into this to see what this about, and it got me hit with 40, man.
Now we had Penthouse Live.
For sure.
And the thing is, what I recognize is that there is a big change in music and the people who's consuming the music, right?
For sure.
Nowadays, I see a lot of women on Instagram, right? Like, looking good as hell, rapping the fuck out of NBA Youngboy.
Yeah.
And it's like, yo, what happened to the singing? Like,
man,
you know what I mean?
And that's what I'm trying to save right here. That's why we got NIKKO baby out here doing this 1-2, man. We bringing it back. Shout out to the R&B artists that's moving and shaking. But just like the question he asked me earlier, what do I feel like R&B missing? I feel like it's missing me, baby.
Come on,
like it's missing NIKKO baby.
Y'all better go tune into NIKKO baby.
For sure.
Make sure y'all do that. Now with R&B, right?
Yeah.
I feel like, me personally, this is just an opinion. I ask a lot of singers this. Some agree with me, more than often. But do you feel like in this day and age now, R&B is not as strong as, I'm not going to say a dying thing no more, because that's what I used to say. Like, it's almost like a dying thing.
Respect. There's no thing. See, I don't feel like it's a dying genre, What I felt like is every genre had its wave, It's just because I signed to one of the greatest producers of all times. You know what I'm saying? I signed to Young Chop.
Oh,
Young
come
Chop
on.
cultivated something great. Something great. You know
So
what I mean?
I see the chain. Can we
Yeah.
Chop Squad in the building?
Get
Come
it,
on.
get it.
Come on,
Shout out
man.
Treasures, baby.
And I wanted to ask that too, so thank you for like expounding on that. But yeah, I'm listening.
Yeah, but it's not a. I don't feel like it's like a dying breed. You know what I mean? A dying genre. You know what I mean? It's just finding its way. And right now, I feel like R&B is really recreating itself. You know what I'm saying? Because what was considered to be just all love songs and all sad songs, and now we can flip it and turn it to something else. You know what I mean? We can make it party. We can make it club. We can make it trap. We can make it. You know what I mean? All in all, still R&B.
That's very true.
You know what I mean?
And you know what? See, that's why I didn't want to keep saying dying culture, because in order for something to die, it can't be around no more, right?
Right. No more
R&B
resuscitation.
There's a lot of R&B songs being sampled today.
For sure.
So like that, yeah. Like I had to
go.
See, look. Shout out NIKKO making me realize I've been saying stupid shit for the past couple months.
Oh man, nah, ain't nothing stupid about it. You know, I mean, you are what you are. You feel what you feel. But right now, R&B is making its wave. You know what I mean? It's making a real return, especially now. NIKKO Baby is outside.
Come on, we gonna keep promoting that. We gonna lock in. We gonna play some NIKKO Baby after this.
Oh, for sure, man.
So you said your grandmother? What was it? Just your grandmother that kept you around music, or
man,
was
my
it
mom, my grandma? You know what I mean? Really, majority of my family. Like I got musicians in my family. You know what I mean? A couple known musicians, a couple musicians right now traveling the world with major artists moving. So I was surrounded by the music. You know what I mean? I was surrounded by the music. I really chose the R&B thing because I was like intrigued by the stories. You know what I mean? The emotions, the feeling it gave you. You know what I mean? So that's what brought me into the R&B for real.
And you super soft spoken. Like a lot of people like who is soft spoken do tend to like get into like that singing realm and stuff like that.
For sure.
So do you feel like this was inevitable because your whole family was around music? Like if you feel like your family was into other things, would you still be a singer?
See, the craziest thing is I didn't always start like the good soft kid, soft spoken guy. I grew up the way I grew up, you know what I mean? I had my influences, you know what I'm saying? And it really took something in me, but really I went through some things and I had to really set that boundary like, man, I got to do something, I got to change. You know what I mean? And my safe space was the music. You know what I mean? Especially seeing what I was surrounded by was like I had to make a choice before there is no choice. You know what I'm saying? So I chose music. You know what I mean?
Say that one more time.
For real. I'd say I had to make a choice before there was no choice.
That's something that a lot of people don't think about, bro.
For sure.
That's hard body. That's tough. So who were some of the people that either you watched growing up and that you're actually in tune with now? Is there anybody that you're still chasing that feeling for? Like some of your favorite artists that you might want to work with? Because it seemed like you was like well tapped in. Because I feel like once you make it to people like Big T and K-Shine like that.
Yeah, that was big. Look, and it's crazy because the thing is, I randomly ran into Murder Mook, and I grew up watching Mooks.
Shout out Mook,
DVDs,
man.
You know what I mean? I ran randomly into Murder Mook, and it was just instant love. But it's more so like, you know what I mean? Because I have the hip hop background. I'm around the rap, the gangster. You know what I mean? So of course, like, but as far as like linking with, it's a few. I think I got the greatest success story when it come down to me watching the young chops like grow and go and you know what I mean, evolve the way he did. For me to go from watching him on the TV and watching him on the videos and everything, now I work with him every day. You know what I mean? Closely. You know what I mean? And that was one of my biggest things. I'm still chasing a couple people, but we gonna get them real soon.
Of course. NIKKO Baby in the motherfucking building.
Better know it.
You know what's so fire is that when you know those hardcore rappers get around singers,
for sure,
protected, nigga. Shit, they ain't gonna let nothing happen.
Nothing at all. Nothing at all, man. And it be love.
You feed in that part of the culture where it's just
for
like,
sure.
Hey, look, you never know, because like, you know, the shit happened to me, but you know, you might play a record and somebody might tell you like, yo, your song set the mood for the night. Like, you know,
for sure.
Her nigga still
I done heard that a couple times before. I heard that a couple times before. I get it a lot.
Yeah.
Rappers walking up to me like, man, I made a baby to that last night.
Exactly. Did you name him Nikko?
You got to name him Nikko to complete the process, you know?
At that point, nigga. So how did you get into with I know like Chicago, like when you grow up in a town and you outside, because you know it can happen here. You could just be welcomed in as long as you outside. So how did the whole Young Chop thing start?
Man, it was being outside, man. Being outside, like going, not giving up, steady moving, steady working, constantly working. And as it grew, I felt like I got the attention of the right people, and the right people when it put them and directed them my way. You know what I mean? And I feel like it's not even just that, prayer, faith, you know what I mean, and continuous work.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because he came to see me at a show live. Yeah. And we've been locked in ever since then.
So was you expecting to see him at that show?
No, I was not.
So Young Chop heard you singing.
Yeah. See, I don't know who I don't know. I can't say who sent it to him or who put him on me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I can say shout out to a few people, lyrical, you know what I'm saying, Lyrical Eyes Management. I had got a text message like, somebody coming to see you. I'm like, all right, bet, cool. And they like, when I got there, he was standing outside the show. Like, man, that's Young Chop. He like, yeah, man, I came for you.
Was you the only one on the bill?
Actually, I was headlining. It was more people on the bill, but I was headlining.
So in that moment when he said, I came here to see you, was you nervous by any chance?
No,
that you don't get no nerves in you?
No nerves at all, man. I just move by faith, man.
That's such a blessing, bro. And it's so refreshing to hear you say that, because I don't think a lot of people really implicate God into their journey like how they're supposed to. So that's like super refreshing.
God is the greatest, man. God is the greatest.
Of course, all the time, always give him the praise. So what's some of the things that you got coming up next, like in the near future? Any shows, projects?
I have a show this weekend. Man, shout out Go Room, Minneapolis, Minnesota. I'll be in Minneapolis, Minnesota, March 7th. And then I'll be back in New York soon for a show as well. So
where that's at? Where that's at? Drop the location in
New York. I ain't got it memorized yet.
We on Instagram.
But I'm gonna shoot it for you. We gonna post it on Instagram, man. Y'all just follow me, Nikko Baby 2Ys1_.
Come on, we gonna get into that
for sure.
So, before we get out of here, you said this is your third time in New York.
Yeah.
First time you came up here, K-Shine.
Yeah.
Second time, what was that?
Just leisure, tripping. You know what I mean? Came out here on some. I liked it here the first time, so I wanted to come back. You know what I mean? So third time was crazy, because about a week ago, he like, man, we going to New York. I'm like, I can't wait. I think the day he told me, I had my backpack.
He said, this shit going to feel like a year waiting for this month. You ever think about moving up here?
Man, a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. Craziest thing is a lot. Man.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
A lot. Shine and a bunch of the rap battle community shows so much love the first time. It was a thought then. You know what I mean? And I love it here. I love the energy of the people, even though y'all kind of congested, man.
Oh, kind of.
Some people These people will walk in front of your car. They don't care.
Yo.
They'll see your car moving at 40 miles an hour and walk out in front of it.
Yeah, hell yeah. I'm a suspect. I'm definitely a suspect. Yo, why every time somebody bring up New York, they always talk about the walking like, you know,
man.
We hate slow walking. We hate slow pace anything.
See, in Chicago it's crazy because it's a lot of walkers, but it's not that many walkers. Like New York, people don't mind walking. You know what I'm saying? They don't mind walking. Chicago, nah, we got to be in a car, some form of transportation.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I tell
that's why the city leaning, because everybody got fat. They got in the car. Get them.
I tell everybody all the time, like, to have a car in New York is honestly not needed.
Yeah.
We have 24-hour subway services that go here to here.
Look, brother.
Nikko.
It took us maybe 22 minutes to get 2 blocks.
Oh, come on, son.
Yeah, facts.
We
was in the car.
Yeah,
we was in the car.
Yeah,
22 minutes to get 2 blocks. Facts.
The richest motherfuckers that live out here in the city don't own cars, yo. They'll tell you.
I see. We was just downtown. I believe we was downtown. Metropolitan, somewhere like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Around the office, you know, those offices I'm speaking on. But,
I know exactly.
You know, man, and somebody big walked past me and like, I said her name. She was like, yeah, and kept walking. Like, oh man, I tried to hug the lady.
Yo, you run into some people.
Yeah,
you run into some people,
names
bro.
out here, man.
I
That's
done
dope.
definitely ran into some, like, not random, but I ran into Killer Mike one day, and I was just like, yo, what the?
What?
Yeah, right here on 44, no, 34 for something like that. Yeah, I was like, yo.
That's dope.
I was like, yo, Killer. He turned around. I was like, oh, shit. He was trailing me and everything. That shit was fire. But anyway, again, we got NIKKO, baby, in the shout out to Instagram.
You know.
Can find you at.
Man, you can find me everywhere, every streaming platform, wherever you listen to your music. Just search NIKKO Baby, search my name. Wherever you swipe, stream, post, whatever, it's NIKKO Baby, NIKKO BABY. For sure.
That means MySpace,
Everywhere,
AOL,
tagged, everywhere.
We're gonna do
OnlyFans, everywhere. Go find me. Black Planet, everywhere. I'm there. We're everywhere.
Hey, yo, it's your number one holy Northside 40. We is here live. DIGIWAXX, Penthouse, NIKKO Baby in the building. Y'all
Know
sure
that.
y'all go tap in. R&B ain't dead as long as NIKKO Baby is here, man.
Better know that like you owe that.
Y'all stay tuned.